Good morning, everyone. We're live again. Let's read more of the Tao Te Ching. I had a really good night yesterday, so thinking that we're gonna have a very good time now too. Okay. So let's give people a bit more time to join. This is a dedication from my friend Ryan. He says, wishing you lots of luck in this rabbit year. And just this morning, while walking the puppy, I was, um, I saw a bunny. I love bunnies this time of year. Good, good. All right. Without any further anticipation, I guess, let's get started. Chapter 31. Instruments of ill omen. Even the finest weapons are instruments of ill omen, to be hated by all. The Taoist does not avail himself of them. In his dwelling, the true gentleman esteems the left. In warfare, he esteems the left. In warfare, he esteems the right. Weapons are not used by the true gentleman, except as a last resort. Peace and calm are always preferred. Even in victory, weapons are not things of beauty. To think them beautiful is to rejoice in killing. Joy in killing forfeits the allegiance of all under heaven. On auspicious occasions, the left is prized, for in auspicious affairs, the right. The junior commander takes his stand on the left, the senior commander on the right. In warfare, when many lives have been taken, victory should be marked with rites of mourning and lamentation. Beautiful. I want to read the Art of War by Sun Tzu. Apparently, like, people actually find it very inspiring, if they are in positions of leadership. So the best leader is he who does not want to be a leader. Something for you to meditate about. Let's keep going. Chapter 32. Streams and Valleys. The Tao has no name. The uncarved block is small, but subject to none in all under heaven. When nobles and kings cleave to it, the myriad things willingly pay them homage. Heaven and earth as one send sweet dew. The folk dwell in harmony with no need of decree. Once the uncarved block is split apart, once there are names, they then know where to halt, keep safe from harm. The Tao is to all under heaven as the great river and the ocean are to streams and valleys. Perfect. Chapter 33. Knowing Self. To understand others is wisdom. To know self is illumination. To vanquish others requires force. To vanquish self requires strength. To know contentment is true wealth. To persevere requires will. Not to lose one's place is to endure. To die but not to perish is long life. To die and not to perish. Chapter 34. The Flood. The great Tao is a flood, stretching left and right. The myriad things cleave to it and are born. It denies them nothing, it accomplishes without naming, it clothes and nourishes the myriad things without lording it over them. It is free from desire. It takes the humblest of names. The myriad things return to it, but owe it no allegiance. By not lording over them, it can be called truly great. In not considering itself great, it achieves true greatness. Great. Chapter 35. The Great Image. Cleave to the great image, and all under heaven draws nigh. Safe from harm, in peace and prosperity. Music and fine food entice the passerby to halt. Words issuing from the Tao are bland. They lack flavor. Look at the Tao, there is little to see. Listen to it, there is little to hear. But practice it, and it is infinite. Great. Chapter 36. Subtle Light. To shrink, first stretch. To be soft, first be strong. To destroy, first raise up. To steal, first give away. This is the subtle light. Soft and gentle prevail over hard and strong. Never take a fish from its deep. Never display the sharp weapons of a nation. Great. Chapter 37. Transform. The Tao is true non-action, whereby all is accomplished. When nobles and kings cleave to the Tao, the myriad things are transformed of their own accord. But if they still crave action, I strengthen them with the nameless, with the uncarved block, with no desire, with calm. Then all under heaven settles of its own accord. Chapter 38. Fruit, not flower. Higher power is no power, is true power. Lesser power does not let go, is no power at all. Higher power does not act, and yet all is accomplished. Lesser power acts and fails to accomplish. Higher benevolence acts with no purpose. Righteousness acts with a purpose. Ritual acts, and when no one responds, rolls up its sleeves to exert force. With loss of the Tao comes power. With loss of power comes benevolence. With loss of benevolence comes righteousness. With loss of righteousness comes ritual. With ritual, trust is skin deep. The first step to chaos. They just described the Amazon procedures there. Prophecy is a mere flower of the Tao, the beginning of folly. The great man dwells in substance, not surface, abides in fruit, not flower, eschews the latter, cleaves to the former. The Tao is be suckling on the nectar. The true Taoist is a tom-tom. Chapter 39. The One. Of those who attained the One in ancient times, heaven attained the One through clarity. Earth attained the One through calm. Spirit attained the One and was luminous. The valley attained the One and was filled. The myriad things attained the One at birth. Nobles and kings attained the One and set things right in all under heaven. It was through the One that they were thus. Heaven without clarity would split asunder. Earth without calm would fall apart. A spirit not luminous would fade. A valley not filled would run dry. The myriad things without birth would be extinct. Nobles and kings without esteem will tumble. Esteem has its root in humility, in what is not esteem. Height has its foundation in depth. Nobles and kings call themselves orphan and destitute. Humility is the root. The greatest number of carriages is no carriage. Do not tinkle that jade, rumbles like rock, attain the One. So this quote has always stuck with me. Nobles and kings call themselves orphan and destitute. That's pretty awesome. Because I do know a lot of kings and leaders who are destitute. or who consider themselves an orphan. Chapter 40, Turning. Turning is the motion of the Tao. Its practice is soft. In all under heaven, the myriad things are born from being. Being is born from non-being. The seeker of the Tao turns through softness to the One, returns home to non-being, to the formless. Too long life. Chapter 41, The Dark Light. The highest hear the Tao and leave it to the foe. The middling hear the Tao, and it seems now here, now gone. The lowest hear the Tao and laugh outright. Their latter testifies to the Tao. An old saying goes, the light of the Tao seems dark. To advance in the Tao seems like a retreat. The smooth path of the Tao seems speeding. The highest power is like a valley. The purest white seems solid. Ample power seems flimsy. Established power seems thin. Truest power seems empty. The great square has no corners. The great vessel is completed slowly. Great music is faint. The great image has no form. The Tao is hidden incognito. It has no name. It gives. It completes. Great. The high simply leave the Tao. The middling strive to practice self-cultivation, but are from time to time distracted by wealth, by beauty, splendor, and honors. They are assailed by doubt, deluded by desire. The lowest laugh out loud, despising the Tao as soft, mocking its simplicity as vulgar. There is a saying, to seek the true light of the Tao is to search in the dark. To reach the Tao is to retreat. Great. The lowest laugh out loud, despising the Tao as soft, mocking its simplicity as vulgar. Beautiful quote. I have met a lot of people who despise the Tao. Who mock the Tao and consider it, oh, you're so naco, you're so unrefined. You know what naco is? Naco is a pejorative term in Spanish that white people use towards people not of their persuasion, people that they deem as not refined or not educated enough. So a lot of people, a lot of Chinese people I met do that. But embrace your naco. Embrace your naco, and it's gonna make you a lot. It's gonna make you soar past that. Chapter 42, 1, 2, 3. The Tao gave birth to the One. The One gave birth to the Two. The Two gave birth to the Three. The Three gave birth to the myriad things which carry yin on their backs and embrace yang, harmonized by the breath energy of emptiness. The multitude hate to be orphans, to be solitary and destitute. But kings and princes call themselves by these very names. Things diminish and increase, they increase and diminish. Others teach this, I also teach it. The violent do not die a natural death. This is the father of my teaching. There we go. The Tao gave birth to the one, and the one was lonely, so from one came two, and two were fertile and strong, so they produced the three. The three extends to the quaternity. The trinity extends to the quaternity. And from the quaternity, all schools of mysticism arrive at the quaternity, and from the quaternity comes everything. That's why, for example, the Roblox symbol is a square, because square means everything. The media things, what Taoism calls the media things. The progression is actually from 1 came 2, from 2 came 4, and from 4 came everything. And in China, that everything is represented by 8. That's why 8 is a sacred number. In the other branch of mysticism, let's call it Mesopotamian, right? The holy number is 7. From 4 comes 7. In China, the holy number is 8, right? Chapter 43, The Sophist Thing. The sophist thing in all the heaven outstrips the hardest. Non-being enters no space. I know the benefit of non-action. The world is teaching. Few in all under heaven attain it. Be like a child, formless. Chapter 44, Sufficiency. Which is dearer, name or true person? Which means more, person or property? Which causes greater harm, gain or loss? Undue love comes at great cost. Hoarding entails heavy loss. To know sufficiency averts disgrace. Whosoever knows when to halt, averts misfortune, endures. It's enough. The person who's truly rich is him who has enough. Chapter 45, Flawed Perfection. Great perfection seems flawed, but in practice never fades. Great plenitude seems empty, but its practice is never exhausted. Great straightness seems curved, great cleverness seems clumsy. Great eloquence seems to stammer. Movement prevails over cold. Calm prevails over heat. Clarity and calm set all under heaven to rights. So there's an order to all things, right? So you have to. The order of all things is something that you just into out of it. You have to flow with that order of all things. Remember how I spoke of the logos, right? So this is a way to achieve the logos, right? The order of the things. Chapter 46, Enduring Contentment. When the Tao rules, all under heaven swift horses fertilize the fields. When the Tao is absent, from all under heaven war horses are bred on the altar meet. The greatest calamity is discontent. The greatest harm is the desire to acquire and achieve. True contentment, sure knowledge of sufficiency, those endure. These endure. True contentment, sure knowledge of sufficiency, these endure. Great. All poo time is pee time, but all not pee time is poo time. This is the way of the Tao. There's like this bug on YouTube where when you open the homepage, it autoplays a video. So hold on. Chapter 47, To Know Without Going. Without setting foot outside the door, the Taoist knows all under heaven. Without looking through the window, the Taoist sees the Tao of heaven and nature. The further one goes, the less one knows. The Taoist knows without going, understands without seeing, accomplishes without action. Chapter 48, Decrease. Studying requires daily increase. The Tao requires daily decrease. Decrease upon decrease, until non-action is attained. With non-action, everything is accomplished. Everything happens. All under heaven is won through no business. Meddling never wins all under heaven. Chapter 49, Quiet and Self-Effacing. The Taoist has no heart and mind, but regards the heart and mind of the common folk as his own, saying, I consider the good to be good, the not good I also consider good. This is a true goodness of inner power. Those who good faith have faith in, I have faith in. I also have faith in the faithless. This is a true good faith of inner power. In all under heaven, the true Taoist is quiet and self-effacing. Keeps heart and mind in choate for the sake of all under heaven. The 100 families strain their eyes and ears. The Taoist regards them all as children. The Taoist rules all under heaven quietly with the heart and mind of a fool. Chapter 50. Not the reign of death. One second. Wow, I'm gonna order this. So you saw that the same translator for this translate the I Ching. I need the I Ching, of course. The I Ching, Jing, 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 Bin Chilin. Enjoy the music. So the I Ching revolves around the prototypic system of ideograms. Before there were ideograms in Chinese culture, there were hexagrams, a system of writing with 6 lines, right? 1, 2, 3, that's heaven. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So heaven and heaven, so that's the hexagram for heaven, 6 lines. So, curiously, 3 lines, 3 horizontal lines is the hexagram for heaven, right? Let's keep going. Chapter 50. No terrain of death. There is a coming into life and entering into death. The companions of life make up 1/3. The companions of death another 1/3. The final 1/3 have their heart and mind to set on living. They slide from life to the terrain of death. I have heard that those who truly nurture life travel on land without encountering rhinoceros or tiger. They join the fray of war without wearing armor or bearing arms. The rhinoceros find nowhere to butt. The tiger nowhere to dig its claws. The enemy nowhere to drive the points of those weapons. For those who truly nurture life, there is not a reign of death. Chapter 51, Mystic Power. The Tao gives birth. The power nurtures. Matter creates form. Potential energy completes. Each one of the myriad things reveres the Tao, prizes the inner power. There is no decree for the Tao to give birth, for the power to nurture. These things happen of themselves. The Tao gives birth, the power nurtures, rears, fulfills, feeds, shelters. The Tao gives birth but never possesses. The Taoist acts without attachment, leads but never takes charge. This is mystic power. Yes. So I've noticed that my audio is really, really bad in really, really bad, right? Um, let me know if the audio is like bad or something. What? There's no filters? Do not meddle. Do not meddle, my child. Fuck, I thought that I had filters on. Filters are important, to to get professional audio. So there we go. Hopefully this is better. So that's why I had terrible audio because my filters were only enabled on the other microphone. Okay. Hold on. Let me know how this sounds, okay? You know what I want to play? I haven't played Trackmania in a while. Hopefully this is better. Okay. Skip. Chapter 52. The Mother. All under heaven has a beginning, a mother. To attain the mother, know the children. To return home, cleave to the mother. Be safe from peril. Close the apertures, shut the gate, suffer and toil no longer. Open the apertures, meddle, and never be safe. To see the small is illumination. To cleave to the soft is strength. Use the light, return home to illumination, to no harm. This is to practice constancy. So I want to show you one of the ideograms here, the mother. So the ideogram on top, so that's obviously a person, right? I don't remember what the meaning of the second one is, but the third one is interesting because that's obviously a picture of breasts. That's obviously a picture of two big breasts, right? So that's the mother. That is really interesting, right? Chapter 53. Brazen Robbery. If, with a scrap of Tudor knowledge, I walk on the road of the great Tao, deviations are all I fear. The great Tao is a broad and level highway, yet most prefer tracks and bypaths. The court seems well tended, but the fields are choked with weeds. The granary is bare. Fancy clothes and sharp swords are on show. Gluttonous feasting and drinking, material things in excess. This is brazen robbery. This is not the Tao. Ooh. Wow. Chapter 54. Well planned, well embraced. A shrub well planted is not easily uprooted. A firm embrace is not easily shaken off. Descendants perpetuate ancestral sacrifices without intermission. Cultivate the person, and inner power is true. Cultivate the family, and power expands. Cultivate the district, and power endures. Cultivate the nation, and power abounds. Cultivate all under heaven, and power is universal. Cultivation of the person extends from person to family, from family to nation, to all under heaven. How do I know it to be true? From this, from the Tao. Chapter 55. The Inner Power of the Infant. So this is interesting, right? Because so this kind of looks like inner, and this obviously looks like a little child. So I love it, right? I love it. I wonder what's the ideogram. What's the ideogram for pussy and penis? Oh, I love this. Enjoy the music. I'm sorry, I am researching things more important. What Chinese for penis? I need a refill. I need a coffee refill. Hold on. So the bad thing about the cherry blossoms is that there's a webcam. Let's check out the webcam. So they are really limited, right? Oh well, they're still in bloom. Okay. Look. Yeah, they're still in bloom. I like the University of Washington, but that's where all of the pretentious Asian techies come from in Amazon and in Washington big tech companies. Again, nothing against them. It's just that poor souls, for there's not one with the Tao.
ここのエキスポプラザっていうところはですね、リハーサルやってる時もお客さんがこう入れるという、面白い、オープンスペースですね、いわゆるね。それでリハーサルやってると、まあ普通短いね曲やるバンドだと、これはちょっとリハーサルですから3分ぐらいで曲が終わるんで、みんなリハーサルかと思って納得してるんですけど、うちは曲が長いもんですから、ね、
Chapter 55 The Inner Power of the Infant. Abundant, the inner power is like an infant, whom poisonous insects do not sting, whom fierce beasts do not seize, whom birds of prey do not attack. The infant's bones and sinews are soft, but its grasp is sure. The infant knows nothing of the joining of woman and man, and yet its member can't stand erect. Its essence is perfect. All day the infant may cry, but is never hoarse. Its harmony is perfect. To know harmony is constancy. To know constancy is illumination. To strive to increase life is ill-omened. Forces heart and mind to consume bread energy needlessly. Things reach their prime, they age naturally. To go against this is contrary to the Tao. That which is contrary to the Tao will perish all too soon. Huh? Chapter 56 Mystic Union. Why are the colors so washed out? Well, I mean, they're not metal, right? But gamma. I want to provide you a good visual. Or saturated. Not too saturated, because it is a mistake to overtly saturate things. So I think that looks a bit better. Saturation. Complete global saturation. I hate everyone. Hating everyone is not allowed. Alright? Chapter 56 Mystic Union. Who knows does not speak. Who speaks does not know. Close the mouth, shut the gate. Soften the sharp, unravel the tangles. Harmonize the light, blend it with the dust. This is a mystic union. Whosoever attains this is neither loved nor rejected, receives neither benefit nor harm, is neither highly esteemed nor despised, but is nonetheless greatly valued by all under heaven. This is probably my favorite one. I also thought the last one was kind of interesting. Whosoever attains the mystic union is neither loved nor rejected, but nonetheless is greatly valued by all under heaven. keep the light of the Tao dark. Do not let it shine. Be one with the dust of the world. Blend with it. Do not stay aloof. This is the mystic union of heaven and nature. To be one with the Tao, not to be loved, not to bask in glory, not to suffer from loneliness, not to be rejected, to feel no bitterness, but to have a heart and mind of calm and constancy, with neither desire nor aversion. I go with the Tao. I consider myself nothing but a humble servant of the Tao, humble adept of the Tao, a fool. Chapter 57 Of Their Own Accord. Rule a nation with the judgment of righteousness, wage war with cunning. To this the Taoist replies, win all under heaven through not meddling. How do I know it to be true? Through this, through the Tao. With more restrictions and prohibitions in all under heaven, the folk are the poorer. The more sharp weapons are wielded, the more benighted is the nation. With cunning skills, strange contraptions and devices proliferate. With laws and decrees, there are more robbers and thieves. So the Taoist says, I return to non-action, and the folk are transformed of their own accord, of themselves. I cherish calm, and they are set right. Of themselves, I do not, and they are set right of themselves. I do not meddle, and they prosper of their own accord. I am free of desire, and they return to the uncarved block of their own accord. With cunning skills, strange contraptions and devices proliferate. Chapter 58 The Unshining Taoist. When the ruler is dull, the folk are happy. When the ruler is busy and alert, they are discontented. Fortune and calamity are part of each other. Calamity is latent within fortune. How few recognize that margin where there is no judgment of right. Right can become cunning. Good can become evil. And mankind is long gone astray. The Tao is square but not cut square, has corners that are not pointed, is straight but not taut. The light of the Taoist doesn't shine. Wait. Far from home, parted from kin, banished to a strange place, I wonder that my heart feels so little anguish, so little pain. Reading Master Shang, I have discovered my true home in Nothing Land. Holy shit. It gets even better, like, we're approaching the tail end of the book. It gets even fucking better, dude. It gets even fucking better. This is golden, dude. What say you? Do we read it all? Yeah, we're probably gonna read it all today, right? Hold on. All right, let's keep going. Chapter 59, Drift. Ruling others in serving heaven and nature, nothing excels drift. Early surrender to the Tao brings a double measure of inner power, a power that prevails over all, a power that has no bounds, that can possess a nation. Possessing the mother of the nation, it endures. It has a deep root and a firm stalk. This is the Tao of long life, of enduring vision. Chapter 60, Cooking a Small Fish. See, and this is very obviously, well, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but it very obviously looks like a fish, right? Ruling a great nation is like cooking a small fish. When all under heaven is ruled by the Tao, demons lose their spirit power. What power they have can do no harm. The Taoist ruler does no harm. Inner powers combine, return home to the Tao. Chapter 61, Downstream. A great nation is downstream. It is woman in the union of all under heaven. Woman prevails over man through her calm. In calm, she lies beneath. Likewise, a great nation gets beneath a small nation and wins its allegiance. A small nation is beneath a great nation and gives allegiance. Some get beneath, others are beneath. Each attains its wishes. A great nation seeks to gather others and nourish them. A small nation seeks to serve the other. The great should place itself beneath.
A great nation like the beautiful country of China seeks small nations like Taiwan. Taiwan is part of China. Taiwan is part of China. Hong Kong, Hong Kong.
Why does everyone fucking want Taiwan? And no, why does everyone want Taiwan? Woman is yin, humble, soft, and harmonious. Woman is not preeminent, but nonetheless subdues man. Yin prevails over yang through her being calm, being gentle. through not seeking domination. The Tao of Jin is one of calm and humility.
What? What are you talking about? Are those the gender stereotypes you're talking about there? Oh my goodness!
Chapter 61, Downstream. Oh, okay. We're ready. Chapter 62, The Inner Sanctuary. The Tao is the inner sanctuary of the myriad things, treasure of the good, refuge of the not so good. Fine words may purchase high regard, fine deeds may win esteem even for those doers of evil. The not so good are never rejected. When the Son of Heaven was enthroned on the three dukes Emphioph, they were presented with the fine jades, racing steeds, pranced before them. Will it not have been better by far for them to sit still and enter the Tao? Why was the Tao so highly esteemable? Was it not said that by seeking it, by attaining it, one escaped the consequences of one's errors? For this the Tao was esteemed by all under heaven. Chapter 63. Busy about no business. Accomplish through non-action. Be busy about no business. Taste no taste. Consider the great small, the many few. Requite bitterness with your power. See the difficult in the easy. The great in the small. In all under heaven, deal with the difficult while it's easy. Deal with the great in the smallest detail. The Taoist never deals with greatness, and so achieves greatness. A promise lightly made is not to be believed. Things considered easy are often difficult. The true Taoist conceives difficulty, and so conquers. Non-action is to force nothing, always to keep an eye open for that phase in its development, which a thing is still weak and quiet. That's the point where one should take it up. Wow. Chapter 64. Suchness, the soul of itself. That which is at peace is easily maintained. That which has given no sign is easily dealt with. Brittle things are easily broken. Fine things easily dispersed. Act before there is substance. Create order before chaos gets underway. A stout tree, an arm-spanning girth, grew from a tiny shoot. A mighty terrace, 9 stories high, began as a mound of earth. A journey of 1,000 leagues commenced with a single step. Action invites failure. Whosoever grips, loses. The Taoist never acts and never fails. Never grips and never loses. The folk often fail on the verge of completion. Hit conclusion no less than commencement. And there is no failure. And there is no failure. The Taoist desires no desire, does not value goods that are hard to come by. Studies no study, returns to that which the multitude leave behind. Refrain from action, nourish the immediate things, in their suchness, the soul of itself. Interesting new concept being introduced here, the soul of itself. Chapter 65, the Grand Flow. Of old, Taoists did not impart illumination. They kept the folk foolish. Too much wisdom makes them hard to rule. To rule through wisdom is to rob the nation. To rule through absence of wisdom is to bless the nation. To understand this true pattern is to have mystic power. Mystic power is deep. It is distant. It returns with things to their source. It attains the great flow. Don't you see, you fucking Mexican? Who wants to hang out with a Mexican? Mexicans are criminals. Mexicans are uneducated, criminal, and have no skills other than manual labor. How dare you break the scheme? How dare you step outside of those boundaries? When Mexicans are unpredictable, we're scared. Chapter 66. Kings of the 100 Valleys. River and ocean are kings of the 100 valleys, through being beneath. This is why they are kings. Whoever wishes to be above the folk, in speech must be beneath them. Whoever wished to be ahead of them must be behind. The Taoist is above, and yet they feel no burden. He's ahead, and they feel no impediment. All under heaven propels the Taoist forward. Joyfully, untiringly, the Taoist ruler never contends with others. All under heaven never contends with the Taoist ruler. Great. Chapter 67, The Three Treasures. All under heaven considers my Tao great, and yet it resembles nothing. It resembles nothing because it is great. If it resembles something, it will be small. I have three treasures to hold and to cherish. The first is compassion, the second frugality, the third self-effacement, refusal to take precedence over all under heaven. With compassion comes courage. With frugality comes generosity. With self-effacement comes the capacity to be a chief instrument. Courage without compassion, generosity without frugality, eminence without self-effacement, these are death. With compassion comes true victory in warfare and sure protection. Heaven saves, compassion protects. Wow. Chapter 68, The Power of Not Contending. The best soldier is not warlike. The best warrior never fights. Out of wrath, the best victory does not engage the enemy. The best deployment of others is from beneath. This is the power of not contending. This is the strength in the deployment of others. This is to be a worthy companion of heaven and nature, of the supreme Tao of old. Alright? Chapter 69, Nice. Guest, not host. There is a treatise on war which says, I would rather be guest than host, rather retreat a foot than advance an inch, rather march than no march, brandish a hand without bearing an arm, thrust with no weapon, attack when there is no enemy. The greatest disaster is to underestimate the enemy. In so doing, I risk losing my treasure. When two armies engage in combat, the one that feels sorrow prevails. Wow, holy shit! Chapter 70, Jade and Sackcloth. My words are so easy to understand. They are so easy to practice. And yet, in all under heaven, no one understands them. No one practices them. My words have an ancestor. My deeds have a lord. But no one understands them. Few understand me at all. Rare are those who pattern themselves on me. The Taoist is clad in brown sackcloth, but has jade in his bosom. Wow. Chapter 71 Knowledge and Illness. To know not knowing, to know that one does know, to know that there is a limit to that one knows. This is true and highest knowledge. To deny true knowledge, to deny truth, is an illness. If this is seen for what it is and treated as an illness, it can be cured. The Taoist sees illness as illness and is healthy.
こんにちは。時刻は14時を回りました。4月15日土曜日、ウェザーニュースライブアフタヌーンのお時間です。この時間の担当は檜山さやです。3時間どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
檜山さやです。
引き続き生放送で最新情報をお送り
檜山さやです。おしっこあげる。おしっこします。
Yes, I'm doing alright. Chapter 72 Cherishing Self. When the folk do not hold mighty awe, then a greater awe descends upon them. Let their dwellings not be cramped. Let their days not be made worrisome by others, and they will not worry themselves. The true Taoist knows self, but does not exhibit self, cherishes self, but does not exalt self. Rejects show, knows self.
私たち普段夜の放送が多いので、コーヒーとアフタヌーンでもあれ夜の時間帯なのかなと錯覚してしまいますね。夜更かしはできておりません。夜更かしはできておりませんので、アフタヌーンの担当の日はそうですね、12時ぐらいには寝ようとしてますね。12時から1時ぐらいですかね。下手をするとムーンの担当の時は明け方5時に寝ることもあるので、かなりリズムがね逆転しますよね。
Chapter 73 Heaven's Net. The courage to dare brings death. The courage not to dare brings life. The one benefits, the other harms. Who can fathom the antipathies of heaven and nature? Even the Taoist finds them hard to understand. The Tao of heaven and nature does not contend, and yet prevails, says nothing, and yet is resonant. It does not summon, but things come of their own accord. It is slow, but lays plans. Heaven's net is vast. Through its loose mesh, nothing sleeps.
土曜日は皆さん午前中はいかが過ごしましたか？早起きの方はね、結構何かできた方も多かったんじゃないでしょうか。かくいう私もなかなか早起きできない。
Chapter 74 Fear of Death. When the folk do not fear death, why scare them with death? Who will apprehend the unusual and put to death, to make others fear death? There is already a chief executioner charged with administering death. To take the place of the executioner is like chopping for a master carpenter. Of those who chop for the carpenter, few escape, hurting their hands. Ooh. 関東など東日本を中心に雨が降っております。いただいたリポートを見ていきましょう。Chapter 75 Life. The folk starve while their heavy taxes are squandered on food by those above them. They are hard to rule when those above them meddle. They make light of death, they trivialize death when those above them pursue life too strenuously. Those who do not pursue life, who abide in non-action, are superior to those who cling to life. Chapter 76 Self and General. Man born soft and gentle dies hard and rigid. Of the myriad things, plants are born soft and tender, die dry and brittle. The hard and rigid are companions of death, the soft and gentle companions of life. The forceful warrior meets with defeat. Strong timber is cut for weapons. Strong and great are below, soft and gentle above.
ではこの後の桜前線はいかがでしょうか。桜レーダーで見ていきましょう。もう4月下旬には東北北部桜吹雪、そして北海道渡島半島でも満開、桜吹雪となっていきそうです。5月になる前にこの桜の開花する場所が多くなりますし、5月入ってからは広い範囲で満開。
Chapter 77 The Bamboo.
スケジュールは早めにご検討。
The Tao of heaven and earth, the Tao of heaven and nature resembles a bent bow. Its top pushed down, its bottom raised up. Excess reduced, insufficiency made good. The Tao of heaven and nature reduces excess, makes good insufficiency. Lesser mortals, to the contrary, decrease insufficiency, increase excess. Only the Taoist gives that which he possesses in excess to all under heaven. The Taoist accomplishes, but does not hold on to action, does not abide in accomplishment, does not wish to display his word. Alright. 夜の遅い時間帯ほど雨の降る可能性が続きますし、内陸部山沿いでは雪が降りそうです。路面状況の変化。Chapter 78 The Gentle Prevails. まずは北海道でした。では続いて4つ目のニュース。In all under heaven, nothing is softer and gentle than water. And yet, it prevails over the hard and strong. It is invincible. Nothing prevails with such ease, gentle over strong, soft over hard. All under heaven knows this truth, and yet no one practices it. So the Taoist says, whosoever is willing to accept the nation's filth will be lord of the altar. Whoever is willing to absorb the nation's misfortune will be king of all under heaven. Truths like this sound paradoxical. 日差しが届いても天気の急変に注意が必要です。上空と地上との気温の差が大きくなり、大気が不安定です。にわか雨や雷雨、突風、あられにご注意ください。日月はこういったお天気となりそうです。週明けの天気についてお伝えしていきました。Chapter 79 Holding the Tally. Harmonize great bitterness, and some bitterness will yet remain. How can this be mended? The Taoist holds the left-hand tally, but never calls others to account. Whosoever has inner power is content to hold the tally. Whosoever lacks inner power calls in depth. The Tao of heaven and nature makes no distinctions, is always generous to the good. Chapter 80 Tying Knots. In a small nation with few folk, tools abound, but are not put to use. The folk, mindful of death, never journey far. Boats and carriages are not used for travel. Weapons and soldiers are not deployed. The folk return to the ancient tying of knots. They think their simple diet sweet, their raiment fine. They find peace in their dwellings, joy in their customs. Neighboring countries can be seen. Cocks are heard crowing, dogs barking. The folk die of old age, happy where they are, without ever having traveled.
しい現在地のお天気の報告もお待ちしております。ここ千葉市美浜区ですと3レベルの雨が降りやすくなっております。報告していきましょう。いただいた報告をもとに
Chapter 81. The learned do not understand. Here's to you, AWS techies.
アプリの使い方をご紹介していきました。
Trustful words are not beautiful.
ランキングに参ります。
Beautiful words are not to be
使われた
trusted.
キーワードを確認していきます。ランキングがこちらです。
The good do not dispute.
1位
Those who dispute are not good.
4位がレベル、5位が雫、6位が黄砂、7位
Those who
が
understand
8位
are
が
not learned.
9位がハテ
The
ナ
learned
と
do
なりま
not
した。
understand.
ということで今回はこの9位が
Taoists do not hoard.
キーワードから確
The
認
more they
して
give to others,
6位
the more
の
they
キー
have.
ワードを見ていきましょう。いただい
The
た
more they share, the more is theirs.
雨です。黄砂が流さ
The
れ
Tao of
ている
heaven
長川県
brings
上川
benefit,
市中
never
央からい
harm.
ただきました。3レベルで雨が降って
The
いて
Taoist
雨が降
accomplishes,
って
but
いて
never
晴
contents.
れているということでした。なかなかこう汚れてしまったところも多かったと思うんですけれども、健康も大事にしていただいて、はい、お掃除も入念に行っていただきたいですね。では続いていきましょう。お次が宮城県仙台市宮城野区
A Taoist florilegium. Florilegium. So that's a Taoist with an inner child. Wow.
黄砂が混じっている雨ということで、傘など汚れてしまったところもあったのではないでしょうか。午前中いただいたリポート、結構黄砂のリポートが多くなっておりましたね。ピークは過ぎたものの影響が残っておりました。さあ、キーワードランキング見て
The word Tao was translated by the Jesuit father Regis vis operativa e operandi via ratio lex. The Tao is the unnameable in union with which we are spontaneously on course. The great Tao is complete. With good faith and kindness, one sees immediate things as one great entity. One sees self and other as one great family. It's like the wind blowing. Everything dances before it. Ignorance of the great Tao is a darkened, deserted house. It is conceit, it is self-satisfaction, vain embellishment of the facade. This gaudy shine contains no Buddha. It is ultimately ineffable and thus cannot be understood cognitively. Even though the Tao cannot be known intellectually, because it is fundamental to all being, it can be experienced and embodied. Wow. Confirmation of the, Jesuits. The inner power, self-cultivation, the soul of itself, transformation of the heart and mind, observation and contemplation, the breath energy, the vitality, heart and mind. Wu-wei, non-action. Wu-wei is not idly doing nothing, the lazy attitude of a fainéant, but the relaxed, effortless attitude of the Taoist, which seems to do nothing but actually does a great deal, because he is naturally in harmony with the Tao. Things just happen. The folk return to calm, to simplicity and purity. They find peace in non-action, in the rhythms of nature. With true knowledge, action is eschewed, and all is accomplished through non-action, through the pure breath energy of the Tao. The Taoist accomplishes through non-action, through the soul itself, the way of nature. The Taoist is busy about no business. There is no taste with the dispassionate appreciation of the connoisseur, with clarity and mind. The master is calm. His is the magical passivity that is also called non-action. The Tao is non-action. With it, the immediate things are transformed and effortlessly become whole, according to the soul of itself. This is the true benefit of non-action, the self-engendered Tao. This wordless teaching is learned from self-cultivation in non-action.
言い方がいいですけど、キーワードランキングでは使えなかったので私はもう自分の自力の力でもう行きました。直感を信じて。
So, mother. So, woman, mother, the mysterious feminine. And check out the ideogram. So it's got two breasts. Two big titties there.
もう自力できますから私。
Qué
9
rico.
位はきっと本降りです。だって7位傘マーク、8位が降り続い、9位がハテナでこの本降りだと思ったんです。雨で。いきますよ。大丈夫です。カンニングしてません今日は。いつもカンニングしてません。9位に入るキーワード本降りです。いきましょう。これは自信あります。自分の力いきます。正解はこちら本降り。
So I'm gonna buy the I Ching. Let's read the I Ching next.
やっぱり
That's the Tao Te Ching.
自分の力を信じるっていうことが大事ってことですよね。何事に。
All right.
9位は
I leave you with this for a while.
まあ、今日はですね、広い範囲低気圧前線の影響で九州から東北まで雨のところが多くなっておりまして、本降りの雨となりました。この後も強まる雨の降り方にはご注意ください。では改めてランキング見ていきましょう。さあ見ていきますと、5位が雫でしたね。7位が傘マーク、8位が降り続い、9位が本降りとなりました。今日も皆さんたくさんのリポートありがとうございました。さあ本降りのワードもありましたけれども、では現在の雨の状況はいかがでしょうか。森田さんに伺っていきます。よろしくお願いします。
はい、お願いします。
今日は頑張って自分の直感で当てることができました。
はい、見事です。
ありがとうございます。
はい、
やっぱり雨のワードが多かったですね。
だと思いますね。
はい。
本降りっていう風なリポートもありましたけども、実際に昨日から今日までの24時間の降水量を見るとこんな感じになってるんですね。
はい。
はい。西日本、東日本、なんですけども、黄色が50ミリ以上、黄色から赤にかけてが150ミリから100ミリという状況なんですけども、太平洋側を中心に多くなっているというのがわかるかと思います。九州北部なんかもね、最初降り始め、多かったんですけども、この辺りはもう